Hey guys, this is John here with GamePop with Sims 4. This is going to be a speed build, how to build elderly home. If you watch the series, people are getting old now, and so I don't know if I'm just going to just put my family, my older family in the home, or the older family of the people I play in the home, or if I'm just going to grab random people and stick them in there. Don't know yet, but let's get down to it. So I'm starting out with I believe, yeah, I started out with the dining room. I'm actually watching. This is a really tiny screen to watch this on. Okay, but let's see. We're starting out with the dining room, and I was going to go with the bigger one, then it's just like, So I was like, first, I was like, okay, though, let's expand this. This is too small. And as I kept going, I was thinking, okay, what does an elderly house actually look like? Like, what? And I was like, okay, let's start turning the tables because it's usually claustrophobic in an elderly dining hall room, especially with all the ones I've been to. They're all like really claustrophobic and very tiny. So I was like, okay, let's put a third one in here just to make it really, really tiny. And I accidentally misplaced that chair. Whoops. Okay, there we go. And I'm telling you, no, those tables were not going to stay there. I think one of them actually stayed where they were at. And then we kept going. I keep going. I tried to stay with more of the brown. I just feel like brown is a color for old, like brown and gray. I just feel like those are the two colors that mention old. And I decided I did not want that door. Apparently, yep. Okay, that's exactly what happened. And of course, I get in the door, and now I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with it. Oh yeah, okay, it's just because the way the view is. And then I'm over here trying to decide which toilet. And I got that toilet and put it over there as well. Keeping it with the same brown colors. Wow, this thing looks really weird in fast mode. Yeah, I think it took me a whole hour to actually make this, and you guys are watching it in 21 minutes. So, yeah, pretty much. Now I think, yeah, I went with a bigger one, so that way it looks better. Now, they took away half walls in The Sims 4, which kind of was a disappointment. So I'm sitting here flipping through fences, trying to find the best look for a half wall. And I came down to a conclusion of using that one. Of course, changing colors, but just using that part right there. I thought, but then I was like, that just looks really weird. So I did not go with that one. And so we'll keep going. I was testing out the walls, make sure they were on low. Because on another house I built, the walls are medium, and it looks all right, but it's just kind of windows kind of get a little off. But that's okay. And still playing around with the settings. There we go. It's a wonderful kitchen, looks like. Yeah. I was thinking about going with the vintage fridge, but I didn't think it would work very well. I was thinking about it, but I was thinking old cheap stuff as well because, you know. And also, a couple things, I think I mentioned this at the end too, is that um, this house I'm building here is for the elderly people, but I'll only put 6 elderly people in here, and I'll have 2 helpers, like the one who owns it, and the one who runs it, or something. And I'll put something to where like one's a worker, one's an owner, or the one's there's just 2 family owners or whatever, something like that, husband, wife, or something, or just 2 brothers or 2 sisters or something, a brother and sister who's taking care of. It could be anything. It's just a house, but what I'm thinking about doing is having another series, and it's going to be an elderly challenge, to where I cannot. Basically, the challenge would be I cannot control the elderly. Okay, right now I'm trying to figure out the flooring and stuff. I'm trying to remember the house. Okay, but the challenge would be I cannot control the elderly. I can only control the two helpers, the worker and the helper. And so I have to figure out ways to take care of them without using so that way I can just, yeah. Okay, this part I was having a real problem with. I had to actually put another room just to do what I wanted because it was so awkward. Because everything's built on rooms here. first I did that, but I actually turned out that I did not want that. You'll see here probably honestly in 2 minutes what I just did there for the foyer. You'll probably be like, whoa, okay. You'll probably see about a minute and a half probably now. It took me about 10 minutes to really decide, so it's probably about 2 minutes really in this case. But anyways, the elevator challenge is just for a challenge to, and it's probably going to be mixed of Sims I just grabbed that are old and Sims that was in my family that it's time for them to enter the elderly home because we have so many Sims the way it is in that story series. So yeah, I definitely decided to go with that look. And of course we go with the old columns. Now you're probably thinking, why are you having a second floor for an elderly home? There's no elevators. Yes, there is no elevators, but that second floor is honestly actually not used. Sorry guys, I had a little bit of cough. Wow. Okay. This is so weird watching how fast this goes. Yet again, I'm flipping the table around, trying to figure out the best position for that. And then I realized that wall. Oh, wait a minute, I'm trying to figure out the best door, so I decided to go with that. Not really the door I wanted, but you kind of have to go with what you got. And of course, we're still panning around, putting new lights in. Yeah. I still remember this thing's actually freaking huge. Now this thing took me forever to figure it out. I was like, what? I can't get this to work. And so what I did is I deleted the wall, and then I hand controlled it to the position that I actually really needed, which actually fixed it right away. But then I had to do that. Then I was like, this is too small for the room I really want, so I expanded it a little bit. I ended up doing the same thing down here, but it took me a minute. I was like, what the heck? What was it here that I did it with? It's like, how did I do that? I was like, just do this, and wait a minute, yeah, this is not it. I was like, yep, that is definitely not it. I had a really cool design from that technique that I just used there, but I was like, okay, then I'll just undo it and redo it so that we can see what I did. Okay, let's put this up here. And then I start trying it again. I was like, wait a minute, I need this room. So I had to rebuild that room again to actually get this to really work. Sometimes the shapes are really awkward, and I was like, okay, this is still not working. What did I do? And here at this point, I'm still trying to remember what I did to get that room over there on the other side to work. Because I wanted to kind of be a little bit symmetrical as much as possible, but I was like, oh yeah, I need to delete that wall. So I deleted that wall. Now, if you realize, that wall right in the middle over there, totally, yeah, it just deleted it. That wall was kind of in the way, and I did a little bit different than I did it when I was in that area, but it still worked. Still came exactly the same. So this one was kind of be more like a card room, so I kind of took like a card table. I'm not exactly sure what kind of table it is, but I took like a card table and put some cheap chairs around it. There they are. Pretty much the same dining room chairs. Move it over, spin it around, so that way I can get them all in. Hopefully they can actually sit in those. And it kind of made like a poker table, but that was the only option. I was trying to find like a brown or a white top or something, but their option was white and black, and I was not going to get black chairs, so I was like, okay, let's stick with the green and brown. Now these lights are super low, so it was awkward trying to place them, because I usually place them higher than that, but I'm like, these people are old, so they want to be able to really see. So I put the chess tables in two different directions, but they're still same directions for chairs, but they're different directions the other way. I mean, it would be a little bit contrast, white on one end and white on the other. Of course, here I was trying to make a library and another room, which you'll see here in a few. And I was like, okay, let's do this for the library. I'll do three, and then 2 chairs, and then I'll put a door and a door there. Now I was like, okay, let's fan it out that way. Still moving the tables around. Still trying to figure out the best scenario for this. And I think that was, actually the conclusion there. And from there, I'm choosing up stuff and getting new lights and stuff in there. I love the E shortcut. That E shortcut is such amazing. And at this point now, yeah, okay, this room was supposed to be this for the owner or whatever, the co-workers or something's room, so that way they have a place to stay while they're here. So that's going to be that was to be their room. So I was like, okay, this is too small of a room to do this, so I had to move stuff around in order to get this to work. So I just kind of switched the chairs around and made it a little, it's really tiny, but it works, put it that way. And then I fit the bed right in there. And then it comes down to the fact that I need to make hallways for the next room. And of course I give the elderly really tiny rooms. Super tiny rooms. I make 6 of them because there's only going to be 6 of them. And so that's the point of that. And I start trying to make a bathroom kind of area. And I was thinking about that little area with this one wall. Right, I kind of shortened it a little bit. That's for something here you'll see in a second. I take that door over there by the dining room and put it there, so that way they can go back and forth. I explained that at the end as well. I think the way I'm going to do this more often instead of just sitting here. Well, the more I'm going to do this more often, I'm still going to do the speed build, but instead of doing talk, record, talk, so like the beginning of this was actually recorded with the clip, and then the ending was recorded with the clip as well. And now I'm just narrating over it. What I'm thinking about doing is just narrating the whole thing. I just feel like it would work better. This is kind of just an experiment to see how I would like this better, and how would you guys like this better. So yeah, pretty much this is the speed build. I would put music, but I don't want to deal with copyright stuff. So I know there is free music and stuff. Oh yeah, I had to think about new lights for the front and the bathroom, so they didn't share the same light all the time. And I was like, okay, it's really dark in the hallway, so I put in lights there. But I was like, I know there's free music and stuff, but I just don't want to deal with it, honestly. And there we go. Putting the sinks in. And there's actually only 2 showers this whole place, so I was thinking, okay, what's some really old things? And I was like, let's not go with that one, because it looks like just like the double bed I just put in their room. So I gave them at least decent beds, so that's not that bad. And I was like, okay, let's get them a dresser. I was trying to fit a dresser in that other room, but I was not able to do that. Yep, okay. And I do not use cheats when I build. I've been thinking about it, but currently, right now, this is all just there's no move objects or whatever it's called on right now. This is just all legit. And I've been thinking about doing that way because there's a couple stuff I'm like, I need to come up with some unique ideas. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, what do I want from this front? Because I want to kind of get 2 colored in here. So I was like, okay, let's do it with the stone here. And I was like, okay. So now it's taking me forever right here to think about what do I really want right there on this rest of the building. So I'm going around and flipping through like everything. And I also actually found one of the paints that I used for that one of my houses. I was like, oh, that's where that was when I was trying to find it years back ago for the other building that I built that's not uploaded yet. The reason it's not uploaded yet because we haven't moved in that house yet. But then I was like, oh yeah, at this point I was like, oh yeah, why did I have this? Oh, okay, so might as well just kind of make it look kind of cool. So I was going to do this. I did that. And of course I made that. And now we start doing a roof. The roof is like the best part of this. It ended up really well. Very well done of a roof. And I start looking around, and of course, well, not yet. I don't look around yet. I was like, okay, then I didn't really like that. It just kind of looked kind of weird. And at this point, I'm like, okay, what do I want to do for that? Now that looked like I just grabbed it just from the back. I just grabbed it from the front, from the back. That was kind of weird. But I really didn't. I actually had to flip, and it would flip so fast in this speed build. Of course, I dragged the roof back just a little bit so that way you could see, so you couldn't see the edge of the one. Because it was at the perfect height, so I didn't want to adjust it or anything. And of course, I was calling the roof there. Now I'm putting time. I think it's window. Oh no, I'm trying to get it over, and I was like, wait a minute. There's a map block there. Okay, now that I just added trim to the front, I was like, what the heck? Why can I add trim to the back? That's kind of weird. But anyways, I added the trim to the front, and I'm still flipping around. thinking about, oh yeah, let's go with flora. And so I started putting flora and plants, and I was like, wait a minute, I need windows. So I started doing the windows first. I couldn't figure out how to center that, so I went ahead and did the sides. How to go from the inside to figure out right where I want those windows for these bedrooms. Now I'm not a window bedroom person, but I just did it just to do it. And this point I centered that, of course, because I was trying to sit there in the kitchen, so that's why that kind of went really weird there. Small windows in the back and the what's that thing called? The bathroom. And of course, then now I'm trying to figure out new windows. I was like, okay, what's this match? So I had to go up there and figure out the match, and that I actually had the match on the first time I grabbed those windows. And of course, adjusting more lights. And now time for the flora. Okay. Now the thing is, I actually got to stop talking by the time the other one comes up. That's the problem. The other part of the audio. And I just got a text message. Mutes my phone in case it goes off. I don't let my phone actually ring at text messages, so yeah. But I usually have it right in front of me all the time, so at this point now I'm like, okay, let's try to figure out how to round this the best as I can. Okay, I was like, okay, this is pretty well done. And alright, it was time for the chairs for the front porch. I was going to put like a car thing, but I didn't want to. I can't really. I know you can move the house, but if for some reason, it only lets me move rooms. So I was not going to mess around trying to move the whole house backwards. So I was like, okay, because I was going to put like a front car lot or something in the front, just so that way I would have it. But I was like, well, we'll screw over it. Screw over it. I was like, screw it. We'll just go with this. And I started putting like a fountain. And I originally had this 2x1 I did, and I just like, okay, this looks perfect. And there we go. Yep. Okay, that was like, oh, and I was like, no, let's do a. Wait a minute. Here we go. Let's just do a little L shape and get more of those things. I had to check the name of it, but then there was that. So yep. Alrighty, and yeah, there it is. Oh, let me move the. Actually, I think I like the mailbox in that corner. Let's just gonna keep it in that corner. Okay. Almost forgot to move that. We're gonna get a trash can too. Whoops. Just give him a little. This one out here. Okay. Yep. This is the elderly home, guys. Definitely looks like one. Not really. Really, that's funny about it is that the top floor is not really ever used. It's just for the just the look. Who never knows? If you guys want to actually use it, you can use it if you want. Use it at your own will. But there's all this. Let's just make that look. Took a little while to decide up here, but figured that out easily. And so yeah, I'm just gonna give a little tour about it. Go ahead and pop up the walls all the way up, and the roof, and slide this back. Do a little. Ooh, can I not? I don't think I can. Yep. Okay. I can't tab during this. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to get in as best as I can. We have this wonderful, wonderful foyer kind of area, just a little meet and greet. Yeah, that kind of placement area. You have that annoying dining room that everything is so close to each other, because you know it's a dining room and that's how they like it. Or for some reason, I don't know if they like it like that or just because there's always someone visiting, so they have to. I mean, there's that. Of course, you have the chess room, and then you have the game room. Which looks like a little bit smaller, but it's not. It's just chess room's a little bit more open. It's a little tiny library. It was gonna be a little bit bigger, but then I had this. This right here is actually for the two people. I made it for a couple rooms, so if it's like the two people who are taking care of the elderly, so it could be a couple. Could be I could put with your. I have this. I've been thinking about doing this elderly house challenge, and I might actually make it 2 single beds. So yeah, that could be end up being 2 single beds in the future, or if yeah. So and then here's a hallway. This hallway has the bed, bed, and bed. It's just 3 rooms and 3 more rooms. Of course, you got the kitchen over here. Well, just tiny kitchen. I forgot a little bit of items in there. I'll go ahead and throw them on there. If I can find them. Oh, they don't need that. Okay. Actually, what we'll do is, if I can, do that. There we go. Already showed you the game room. Got 2 public bathrooms just in case visitors come. And then, of course, there's a little hallway meet, so that way they can go back and forth without having to go all the way through here. They can just meet halfway through the hallway. And then you have this wonderful room this bathroom right here, and this wonderful bathroom right here. 2 doors on each side, so that way they can just go in, go out, whichever which way they want. Yeah, that's pretty much the elderly home. And so, if you guys want to see more how to build speed builds in the Sims 4, comment down below what you kind of what kind of idea you want me to build. Like, what kind of house you want me to build. Because I like suggestions. Those are always fun. So, if you guys like this series, make sure to check out the Sims 4 story series. But if you like this series, slap that like button, leave comments down below, and subscribe. This is GamePop. Over and out.